That is the essential time we get to circle Mercury, open at the vanguard. State of the art, our sun framework lies, Mercury, a little uninhabited planet enclosed by a web of state-of-the-workmanship interest and secret. At a simple look, nothing appears impressive about this planet. However, late examinations by utilizing NASA have uncovered a couple of amazing disclosures about Mercury that no individual anticipated. Most recent, the contemplations-blowing revelations alongside records from the James Webb Telescope have ignited debate in the clinical organization, with many indicating the open door of ultramodern extraterrestrial species stowing away in the world. In the midst of the turbulent disclosures and unusual fear-inspired notions, another arrangement is jumping up inside the clinical network. It is the end-all strategy to strip Mercury of its state-of-the-art, overwhelming veils and screen its dim mysteries and strategies for the last time. What staggering privileged secrets and methods have researchers found around Mercury? And what present-day plans does the clinical organization have for this strange cosmic neighbor? Go along with us on this video as the NET telescope ultimately found what NASA has been stowing away on Mercury. All close by, our sun-powered contraption is more than just a natural body. The most recent planet swinging in a vast reflect around every one of the present 8 planets that make up this baffling ring device has enamoring abilities. Popular, its very own despite the fact that planets like Jupiter and Mars might have taken the spotlight with their amazing significance. Another intriguing planetary body that seems to be lost inside the group is Mercury. It is the planet that lies at the very top of the list of ultramodern planets in order due to its closeness to the Sun. Its separation from the Sun is a negligible 58 million kilometers. Contrasted with Earth's 150 million kilometers, Mercury is furthermore lovely minuscule in correlation to Earth, estimating best 30,000 m in breadth. Because of its minuscule range across the Sun, Mercury is the speediest planet to finish its insurgency around the Sun at an incredible speed of most recent 47 kilometers per second. The planet finishes an aggregate turn in only 59 days. As such, 1 year on Mercury is simply 88 days or 4 months in the world. Mercury's little length and sizable speed are only a couple of its most recent beguiling capabilities. From a distance, at the inestimable guide, it indeed even looks as though a decent planet. The little planet has persistently been charming to the clinical community, yet for some reason, it hasn't accumulated attention like most brand new, its enormous amigos. The first recorded perception fresh out of the box new Mercury became in 265 BC. Earliest space experts like Zupus, returned in 39, also contemplated the planet, yet all the clinical organization had in these early occasions were pieces and segments. Current information as all in their studies transformed into completed using unsatisfactory clinical framework and verifiable telescopes. It was only after the 1960s that genuine substantial records around Mercury came to light on account of the endeavors of present-day the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, now NASA. A couple of years in the past, NASA uncovered the essential real photographs of pristine Mercury to the general public. These enormous-than-life photos showed Mercury as a divine exemplification of state-of-the-art excellence and intricacy. However, it didn't come relatively as a general rule. Notwithstanding year-best-in-class making designs and built endeavor to find Mercury, researchers were ideally equipped for taking a gander at it truly. Researchers make some tough memories keeping an eye on Mercury as they do on different planets. Current its vicinity to the Sun. The Sun's unforgiving beams and splendid light can hurt optical instruments like telescopes once they gaze upon Mercury from excessively long. As such, researchers can best look at the minuscule planet for a few minutes at a time to save damage to hardware. Even the James Webb Telescope can't point brand new at the planet due to its closeness to the Sun. It is really mysterious how this extraordinarily little nearby planet is harder to investigate than the farther planets. Most recent, the temperature and gravitational draw from the Sun send a test to Mercury that is more like a self-destruction challenge than a heavenly task. The test must adjust to the temperature, environment, and gravitational shaft insight. Could astonish you to know that Mercury bursts across the Sun at an incredible speed, cutting-edge 30 meters per second. This time-breaking speed makes it the quickest circling planet in our solar system, and to make sure you comprehend, this likewise represents a troublesome ulti for spacecraft that expect to study the planet or land on its surface. Up until this point, best space missions have had Mercury as their objective. The Sailor 10, sent off on November 3, 1973, and the Courier, sent off on August 3, 2004, have been the brainchild of modern NASA, and they are the essential resources for nearly every one of the measurements we have about Mercury today. The Sailor 10 spacecraft performed 3 flybys, each exposing the laughably hole-ridden floor of advanced Mercury and focusing light on its attractive field. If you are thinking, this shuttle became prepared with 2 telescopes, spectrometers, a magnetometer, and plasma analyzers. NASA expected to gather as much information as conceivable from Sailor 10's go to Mercury. As luck could have it, the test gradually found its way to the little fast planet. As Sailor 10 moved toward Mercury, researchers were stunned to look at the tumultuous floor of contemporary Mercury. It was ridden with parts, ultramodern pits, and edges, similar to our moon. The photographs from Sailor were contemplations blowing, as Mercury ended up being nothing similar to what specialists had at any point anticipated. Beside the rough planetary surface, the shuttle likewise identified a defenseless attractive subject and in shockingly huge focus. In all, the Sailor dominated 2,700 photos of cutting-edge Mercury, giving researchers an intriguing and uncommon view. The second flyby of the Sailor was on September 21, 1974, throughout which period it caught the southern polar area of the thrilling planet. The last flyby of the Sailor 10 became on March 19, 1975, and afterward, it halted sending signs to Earth. Later examinations uncovered that the rocket had depleted its inventory of cutting-edge gas and thus became unfit to make any more noteworthy rounds. The fabulous artworks of state-of-the-art Sailor 10 were gotten through 30 years after the fact, while NASA's Courier took present-day data to the not-far-off planet. Dissimilar to its ancestor, the Courier neglected to just lead a flyby. Anyway, it likewise figured out how to circle the planet. Because of this, researchers were ready to gather more in power and energizing realities roughly the planet. Equipped with the astonishing photos of the present Mercury, NASA looked for deeper data with this task. This time, it wasn't just about pics. The venture wanted to perceive more roughly the barometric circumstances and synthetic peace. Bleeding edge. NASA additionally needed to notice the planet's attractive region as well as dive deep into its geologic history and planetary center. As you would rely on, the Courier test became loaded with every one of the fundamental gadgets it may need for this earth-shattering assignment. Interestingly, the test made 3 circles around Mercury, during which period it took around 200,000 photos of the planet. These pics have been specific because, as opposed to the Sailor challenge, they highlighted each side of the planet during the Courier mission. The test made due to go nicely into the planet's circle, floating at around 250 kilometers over the planet's surface. This nearness empowered the test to take pictures of both the light and dark viewpoints of contemporary Mercury. Subsequent to diving deep into the pics and contrasting them with insights from the spacecraft's devices, NASA found out that our costly sister planet had strangely high focuses of calcium and magnesium on its night viewpoint. Additionally, the attractive discipline of the planet appears to be peculiar, misshaped, seeming, by all accounts, to be more powerful and more serious inside the northern regions. This odd pattern in the attractive subject baffled researchers for a really long time until profound examination assessments were completed to uncover the situation at the back of this peculiarity. You notice Mercury's peculiar and remarkable attractive field is all state-of-the-art. How the planet forms at its center. Attractive fields on planets are produced from the reactions that occur in their center. Take Earth, for example. The deepest parts of the world's center include fluid iron. However, the inner layer of this iron changes in accordance with stable, consistent, or current hardening. Current fluid iron inside the center reasons an attractive discipline. In different expressions, more and more cast iron is being formed in our planet's center every day. As fluid iron cools and takes shape to form stable iron, it associates with the surrounding fluid iron. As this occurs, as the Earth twirls around its pivot, a shape current convective is made. At last, compelling electric-fueled flows are produced that produce a huge attractive discipline, loosening up into space. This is the certified mode of activity for the Earth and the way its attractive discipline follows. For Mercury, however, it is a particular ball sport. As a general rule, Mercury's mode of activity is unusual to such an extent that it left researchers completely overwhelmed. In a most recent examination led with the help of the School of California, Los Angeles, it became verified that iron abandons fluid to solid at the middle's outer limit. This is extremely particular from Earth, wherein the change from fluid to solid takes place on the center's inner limit. Researchers had this to say: "We had figured out how the Earth functions, and Mercury is some other earthbound rough planet with an iron center. It is known that at the point when researchers needed to inspect Mercury's rocky structure, they found that 80% of the center is liquid and only 20% is solid. It gets crazier, with a complete 80% of the fluid iron spilling from the center to its upper surface. The liquid iron circle is making a magnetic field, which is at least tenfold. In contrast to Earth's unusual dynamic field, the center of Mercury is acting like a bar magnet. In addition, it has an attractive field inside its thick iron center. While NASA has made every effort to better grasp Mercury, what they may not have anticipated were the numerous significant effects of their discoveries. With studies displaying to the world how Mercury could be home to ultramodern extraterrestrial life structures, the inquiry remained: how could something exist within this staggering hot furnace planet? The truth is that researchers have presently begun to find proof of what might be an influential scientific impact across the expanse of Mercury. Before, they speculated that the mineral presence be visible under the arc of the moon might indicate living beings. These surprises have sparked debates in the scientific network, which raises even deeper inquiries regarding the entire solar system. How could life be conceivable on a planetary body so near the Sun? Could Mercury have been a home planet for ultramodern extraterrestrial species? And could it be home to life's remnants today? These inquiries are worth considering, particularly as technology advances, and in many years to come, further revelations could continue to turn our comprehension of the universe upside down.